Hello. I built my first AR-15 and I posted photos of it on Facebook for some friends to see, and I got a lot of people who were asking how I did it, how much the parts cost, what parts I used and whatnot. So I figured I'd kill a bunch of birds with one stone and explain to them. But also I saw an opportunity here. A lot of the research I did was on YouTube, and I believe 99% of those videos on YouTube are done by military veterans and those that are intimately knowledgeable on firearms. Having not served myself, I'm more of a firearms enthusiast. I have pistols, and this is my first rifle, and I figured if you see somebody posting a video that is not military, you might be a little less intimidated and you might say, hey, I could do that. You got to be responsible. You got to be safe. There's too much crap on the news of crazy people out there doing stuff with firearms. And there's too much stuff out there about people doing accidental stuff with firearms. So gun safety is of utmost importance. Of note, you'll notice a few things here as I go through this, but I just finished this recently, and I don't even keep the bolt carrier group in here because I don't have storage in the house yet for my rifle. And I have kids in the house. So I'm not going to keep a fully assembled AR-15 in the house until I have that storage to protect my family from themselves and from this. I have other firearms to protect the family, but until I have storage for this that I could know my kids can't get into, I'm going to keep it disassembled until that happens. It's close to Christmas, so I know that's going to change very soon. So anyways, the little backstory besides that, I knew I was going to get an AR-15. I had my sights set on a Daniel Defense. Don't remember the model, but it was about $1,400 retail. Saved up the money for it because I was going to pay cash. And once I had that saved up, our sewer line went out. And once that sewer line went out, guess how much it cost? About $1,400. So after that, I said, well, let me set my sights a little lower and I'll get myself a Colt 6940. And had enough saved up for that. And something else went wrong. So rather than get too dejected and give up on getting an AR-15, I thought, well, I'm going to do like Radar on MASH and do it one part at a time, like he sent that Jeep home to his family. So what I did is did a lot of research on YouTube on building it. I have a friend who's in law enforcement, have another friend who has AR-15s, and they gave me some advice. But I wanted to do my own research. So once I figured out that it was not going to be too difficult to build, I decided to start buying the parts. The very first thing I got was this Wheeler Delta Series Armorer's Kit. Got it from Walmart for $150. It's got this fancy blow up of an AR-15. It's got this bag with various tools, such as a torque wrench, such as alignment tools, such as cleaning tools. Lots of stuff in here. But it also came with this, which is a mount for assembling it. I used this right away to put the lower on and assemble the lower. And I use this upper block assembly for assembling the upper. Most of this other stuff, total waste. I didn't even try this torque wrench. I just looked at it and I saw that the zero wasn't lined up, and I said, yeah, I think I'm going to get myself a real click wrench. So I got myself a real click wrench, never even touched that. As I get to using it, I'm sure I'll use some of this other stuff for cleaning and whatnot, but it was a waste of money for the most part. The first parts I got, I actually found a shop in town called Tombstone Tactical in Phoenix, and great service, great selection, great prices. First purchase was the stripped lower, which is Anderson. It is 70-75 aluminum. And the way they make these things is a manufacturer would make a ton of these things, and everybody in town has the same brand lowers and uppers. So basically wherever you go, they got the same thing. And Anderson manufacturing, nothing negative about them, but it did what I needed it to do. Okay, so I got that. And when I say did what I needed to do, it was $56 for the lower. So that was the first thing. That is the thing with the serial number on it. That's the thing where the background check comes into play. That is technically the firearm. Once you have that, everything else anybody can buy. So that was that cost. At the same time, I got the buffer tube kit, which is from Bravo Company, and that is what connects the lower to the buttstock. That was 53 bucks for that. Same time, I got the lower parts kit, which is a Palmetto, and the lower parts kit has the trigger, has the selector switch, it has the magazine ejector, it has the bolt catch, it has the various pins and parts that are attached to the lower, and that was 65 bucks. Comes with the pistol grip, and it comes with the trigger. My friend in law enforcement, he says, you got to get a Timney trigger. And I researched that, and I'm not going to spend 250 bucks on a trigger at this point. Maybe I'll understand the virtues of that down the line, but spending 65 bucks for the entire kit fit my bill. And that was that. That was my first purchase. Next purchase, which is about a month later, I actually got the Magpul STR mil-spec buttstock, and I mentioned mil-spec now, but everything's mil-spec on here. Got this for $62, also at Tombstone Tactical. And then I got a lot of stuff here online. I got the charging handle for 45 bucks on eBay. It's a BCM Mod 5 gunslinger. I got, let's see, that's all I got online at that time. And then I had basically all the lower parts, started assembling the upper parts, went back to Tombstone Tactical, and I got the stripped upper, which is also Anderson Manufacturing. The stripped upper was $59. And at the same time, I got the ejector port cover for $6. I got the forward assist for $15. Actually, this was $8, not $6. And let's see what else I got. And at that time, I didn't get anything else. I did get some magazines, 13 bucks each, 30. They hold 30 rounds, and they're Magpul. So I got that. Then I was looking for barrel, and I went to a website called Radical Firearms, and I got this 16-inch 1/7 twist with a gas tube and the low-profile gas block. And that was $100, and shipping was included. So that's the barrel, the gas block, and the gas tube. $100 for that. I have a nephew-in-law who served in Afghanistan, and he recommended getting a Midwest Industries rail system. So I got this Gen 2 SS series, 12-inch, $175. I think this is the most expensive individual part on this rifle is the rail system here. And that came with the wrench, everything you need to assemble that. Let's see what else at that time. Then I got the muzzle brake. I got that on eBay or Amazon. I don't recall which. It was $109. It's a BCM Mod 0 muzzle brake. Again, $109 for that. And then I got the bolt carrier group from Palmetto State Armory, and this was $90. They're bare bones bolt carrier group. So that's those. And then I got Magpul M-Bus Gen 2 flip-up sights, rear and front, also from Tombstone Tactical, $90 out the door for both of those. So again, the whole point of me doing this is not to explain the parts of a rifle. It's not to teach you how to assemble it, but it's to have a layman like myself explain what it takes, what parts it takes, general cost associated with it. And now that I've done it, it's really not that hard. The lower took me about an hour and a half because I was really taking my time and I'd never done it before. But that was after watching, I'd say I watched 4 YouTube videos on assembling the lower, and I watched those 4 videos probably 4 times each. I'm no dummy, but the point is I wanted to make sure I got it right. And the upper, I did that about 3 weeks later, and that took me 2 separate days, maybe an hour each day. And that, again, same process. Watched a lot of videos, made sure I knew what I was doing, and did it right. The most difficult part of this entire process, the most difficult part was putting the frickin' rolling pin in the gas block. because it is a pain in the butt to get the rolling pin in there. And I had to actually get a 2x4 and chisel it out so it would brace it correctly. And it worked. There's no problem. So anyways, not too difficult to do. A lot of fun. I feel like I know this firearm more intimately than any other firearm I've ever owned, and I'm looking forward to shooting it. Thanks. Any questions, let me know.